Morning, folks. This is Tim Ealer. Today is 8, the 28th of August, 2025. It's 4:20 in the morning. Recording this forecast here. Of course, we have the cool down in the east here, and this is the infrared satellite loop showing the enhanced cloud tops here right over the middle part of the country, with higher cirrus clouds streaming over the southeast. Still enhanced moisture coming back in from Juliet into the desert southwest, and moisture being pulled all the way up in the northwest and along and south of where this trough is in the U.S., eastern U.S. Looks like a short wave moving through the flow here, and a surface low is developed in this area, which is bringing enhanced rainfall. If you look at the radar as part of this, you can see what's happening here, and hence the enhanced flooding risk for today. Oops. Anyway, the rainfall in the desert southwest is supposed to continue, but for these areas here, be less prevalent over time, and the threat's going to shift southward along the Gulf Coast, and we'll have more of a threat up here for excessive rainfall in the coming days. So as far as excessive rainfall goes today, right now we have moderate risk here in central Oklahoma, surrounded by slight risk and marginal risk surrounding it, and another slight risk in Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, and Nevada. This is till 12Z today. For day 2, this would be actually today after 12Z. Threat moves further to the southeast, parts of Colorado, Utah, Nevada, Wyoming, Montana, and New Mexico. Day 3, slight risk all the way from the northern high plains into the Midwest. Colorado, front range of the Rockies, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, and Georgia, and parts of South Carolina. All along the Gulf Coast, bullseye in Iowa, Nebraska, Wichita, Minnesota, and to New Mexico. And that risk pushes along the Gulf Coast with a bullseye here in the Appalachians, Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, again in the Midwest, and moisture coming back into the monsoon into Mexico. As far as current hazards go today, we got the the flood watch and some flood warnings, flash flood warnings, in the middle part of the country here. Dense fog advisories up in the northern tiers of the country, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Wisconsin, and up in my brain is fried today. Sorry, guys. Up into Washington State, we have flood watch and we'll say a red flag warning. So not a lot of stuff going on with the current hazards, and we have a severe thunderstorm warning too. But we saw on the radar where the most precip is occurring right now, so that's where the most of the flood risk is right now, anyway. As we move through time here, we can see where the most precip expected to be, and green shaded areas. This is around 00 UTC, so it's a little bit behind, but you can see where most moisture and expected rainfall is from all the ensembles. the darker greens, and you get into these other darker colors and reds and oranges. That's really a lot of rain. So over time, you have purples and moving. This is 6 hour precipitation amounts. Moves to the south along the Gulf Coast, and we get some more along the front range of the Rockies, Intermountain West, and up into the Northeast and the desert Southwest. So, what will our temps look like over the next 48 hours? Um, this is a little bit different look at things. The different shades, of course, represent temperatures. As you get higher up, like in the magentas and stuff, it's over 100 degrees expected. So, in the greens and blues, and these colors represent colder temps. So, going through time here, like I said, this model is a little bit behind, but see where the warmest temps are out west and in desert southwest. Still only expect to get, in the 80s, maybe 90s in the Texas. You see where most of the cloud cover is today here in the middle part of the country. And in the Northeast, can be quite nice. Overnight, of course, temperatures drop some. 50s, 40s up here in the Northeast, Intermountain West, and warmer temperatures kind of streaming up towards into Canada. Then we get into Friday, cooler temps along this boundary here with rainfall and up in the northwest, northeast, along the Great Lakes. And as we move over time here for Saturday night, it not going to cool off quite as much Saturday night here, but you can see where the hottest temps are. There are going to be some hotter temps moving into South Texas in the coming days, and then the desert Southwest, and up here into Canada. We talked about that in previous days. So, how does it look with upper air precipitable water as far as the amount of moisture available to precipitate to rain, for example? The darker browns and whites are pretty much not really dry. So we move over time here, and the darker greens and into magenta is really anomalous levels here. See where the driest air is over time here, and the aren't the brighter colored dots is just composite reflectivity from the models. You see the precip moving through the flow here, where the most precip water is the dark greens, even blue color, moving through the along the Gulf Coast and scooting right along the Gulf Coast and brushing the southeast. But that's where this model run ends. And you can see on the Intermountain West, the Front Range of Rockies. They towards the end of that period, you see storms all over the Gulf Coast, up in the Northeast corridor, and precip. The dry air is kind of relegated to the Intermountain West and in the Great Lakes and along the Appalachians up in the Northeast, with the exception of along the Northeast coast into Maine. So it's the drier, cooler conditions are kind of going to come to an end for a little while for the southeast, but the rainy conditions around the Midwest are going to come to an end as well in the coming days. What do dew points look like? This is how it feels when you go outside. Dew points in the 50s and 40s, even low 60s is nice, right? So we move through time here. You see where the highest dew points are into the east of the Rockies here and into the southeast. During the day, it kind of dries out some, but the southeast dew points are building back in here. Levels in the 60s, staying that way. And up into the Midwest, all the way up in the Midwest, we go over time here. It remains that way through the end of the period. So, like I said, if dew points are 60 plus, especially during the day, it's going to start to feel humid outside. Anything below that feels pretty nice. So you can see where the darker colors are here. As far as severe weather goes for the next 3 days, we got a marginal risk along the front range of the Rockies today, this morning. And but that complex is moving through Oklahoma, Kansas, wasn't Kansas, Mississippi, parts of Texas. We have marginal risk, likely due to wind and hail chances. Tomorrow, along the front range of the Rockies again, hail and wind, and then along the Gulf Coast. And day 3, just general thunderstorms expected. So here's a surface analysis of the for today. You see where this cold front is along the Gulf Coast. Another cold front moving through the upper Midwest, and stalled front of boundary and warm front here, Oklahoma, Texas, Colorado, Wyoming. This is a warm front moving and different surface troughs here. And here's the local forecast for Warner Robins. I'd like to give this once in a while for my folks here. Doing this on the fly, I apologize. Make this larger here. And I apologize here. So low 64 tonight, probably sunny today, high of 86. Winds from the northeast tonight, low 67. Getting, like I talked about, it's the dew point temps are going to be moving up overnight. Just more moisture in the atmosphere for a few days. Chance of shower and thunderstorms tomorrow, 20%, and then 30% going into Friday night, Saturday morning. 50% chance of shower and thunderstorms, high of 80, which is still nice this time of year. I'm not going to complain about that. Chance shower and thunderstorms Saturday night, excuse me, low of 66. Chance of slight chance rain, then chance of shower and thunderstorms on Sunday, high of 84. And overnight, chances 20% on Sunday night, low of 66. Then high 82 again on Labor Day. It's going to be a nice day to be out for a cookout. High of 82 with a low of 63 at night with a chance of shower and thunderstorms during the day. And Tuesday night, pretty much rinse and repeat. And then Wednesday, high 85. So overall, rain chances will be on the increase, but nothing crazy. Temperatures staying below 90 degrees all week. till the middle of next week, so I'll take that. All right, as far as the tropics go, Ferdinand's now a post-tropical cyclone, being it's north of it's really in cooler waters and hasn't produced convection for the past 12 hours. It just classified a post-tropical cyclone, and this is pretty new. They just outlined an area possibly develop in the next 7 days, 20%, with the disturbance movement off the coast of Africa in the next 7 days. So let's take a brief look at what the Google DeepMind model has to say, along with the European ensemble and high res. You got Ferdinand moving out here. You got non-tropical lows, maybe developing off the east coast. Possible homegrown activity, but not likely. The Google DeepMind and European, they show something out there, but they never, as of right now, develop it into anything as it moves westward. Excuse me. It's getting pretty far out here. Maybe another tropical wave coming off the coast of Africa later on in the period. European ensemble. It consists of 51 members. We're getting into the weekend here. See that tropical wave moving off the coast of Africa here. Members want to show something, and also they want to develop something off the east coast here, but the spread is really high, and like I said, I don't think it's going to be tropical in nature given the proximity to trough and things like that. Either way, if something does develop out here, we'll have plenty of time to watch it. The GFS ensembles also show something moving off here. But we really get kind of in the weeds here. It just gets really chaotic. I want to develop something in the Pacific here as well, but a quick look at the operational run of the GFS. It doesn't really lock on to anything right now. The same thing with the European, although, yeah, it has something here towards the end of the period, maybe moving off the coast of Africa, but this is like way far out. And maybe wants to develop that low as it moves towards the Caribbean, middle of September. And the European usually doesn't show, isn't that bullish on stuff, so we'll see how this plays out. But this is a long way out. This is almost 10 days out. So that's all I got today, guys. We'll keep an eye on the tropics and enjoy the cooler weather in the east. And anybody in the Midwest, stay safe with the rain going on today.